What's going on, guys? It's MurderInc here, and today we're asking ourselves the question, what is the most popular part of Raid Shadow Legends? And with me knowing the answer to that, the question is, how has it been able to reign supreme as the most fun and most engaging thing to do for almost every single player for over 2 years now? This is a question I often ask myself, and after doing a little bit of digging and understanding how everything works here, I do understand why this is the case. So let's jump right into the game and look at all of the content available to us, whether we're starting out fresh or we're an end-game player. The most engaging part of this game early on is absolutely campaign. You can try any champion you want. There's constant progression, you're fighting new enemies you've never seen before, there's 3 separate difficulties, there's always going to be a challenge around the corner. On top of that, you're constantly getting rewards from the game. For me personally, the campaign was the most fun. When I did originally first start playing this game, I made quite a few accounts just to go through the campaign with different champions, because it almost felt different each time, even though it is in fact the same exact enemies. However, with that being said, campaign is not the most popular part of the game, of course, because once you hit a certain level, and fairly quick I might add, you never enter the campaign again unless it's for this dreary task of repeating over and over again, or farming food, farming champions like War Maiden in certain stages, so on and so forth. So with that being said, what else could possibly compete and hold the crown for the king content that no one gets bored of, that they do completely? So you have to ask yourself a couple questions. What content is fully customizable, that has a constant that never changes when practicing? It can't be dungeons, because all dungeons are going to be different. The affinities change quite frequently, making a lot of champions useless, some more useful. And we have dungeons like Ice Golem that require specific mechanics, so you can't just bring any champion you want. The same thing applies with the Fire Knight. As far as faction wars, it's not fully accessible to everybody because of the amount of champions you need per faction. Arena, there could be an argument for Arena, however, Arena's kind of dull now. Yes, you can try pretty much anything you want to, but the enemies are forever changing. You have to adapt to what's in front of you, so it doesn't give you as much to customize as the player. Doom Tower being the newest addition, that cannot be the case, so that just leaves Clan Boss. Why is Clan Boss so appealing to so many players on all different levels? For one, it's the fact that you can do content from easy, normal, hard, brutal. Everything's going to be the same, from the easiest difficulty all the way to the hardest being Ultra Nightmare. The only difference is going to be, as the higher difficulty you go, the more defensive stats you're going to need, the more speed you're going to need, the more accuracy, resistance, however you choose to approach this Clan Boss setting. With that being said, you have 5 champions available to you to use in all of these fights here, and you can completely customize what you want to do and how you want to play this game. This is why, whether you're early game, mid game, or end game, there's always an unlimited amount of things to do based on the champions you chose to invest in. While some champions are definitely not ideal for the Clan Boss, that doesn't mean you cannot make them work in the Clan Boss. So I do want to show you a team that I use in the Clan Boss that makes absolutely no sense, but it's a ton of fun, even for someone like myself who has been playing since 2018. When you've been playing for that long, nothing surprises you, nothing really gets you excited besides new content, yet somehow, some way, Clan Boss is always there to pull you back in with testing new teams, new combinations together, things that are visually fun to watch and don't take too much time. They do take an investment, so of course you have to have free resources, but on top of that, this is accessible to so many players because people make mistakes all the time, 6-starring the wrong champions, fully maxing out, fully booking the wrong champions. You can throw them in Clan Boss if you feel like, you know what, I don't want to waste this opportunity, so you can go straight into Clan Boss and see what you can make work. So the team I want to show you guys today is the one we see in front of us. Bad Owl Leader, Ninja, and 3 ally attack champions, 2 being Lanicus, 1 being Kreela. Now, how much damage do we think this is going to do? We have no attack down, no defense up, no shields at all, so we're not extending anything. We're simply going straight up damage. We're kind of trying to see if we can burn the boss as fast as possible. I have Relentless gear on every single champion, or I have reflex gear in every single champion. I have those accessories that are called refresh that reduce the cooldowns. So this is going to be an interesting run to watch. This is a concept I did play around with before. I used Alton the first time I did this. It wasn't as fun because I felt like I was losing a lot of damage, trying to add survivability, but This team was actually a lot of fun. We have defense down, we have some poisons coming on from Battle. Everyone has incredible gear on, don't get me wrong. This isn't here to showcase a team you guys can try, but this is here to show you guys the point that this content is going to be a fan favorite pretty much until the end of time. I mean, think about it. We've had this same Demon Lord clan boss since 2018. That is such a long time, and yet people are still making teams for it. They're not using the champions that were viable 2 years ago, which would still work today in Ultra Nightmare. They could have been using the same exact team over and over again, but the option's absolutely there to really push this to the limit. Say, okay, I want to test out this champion today. Maybe we'll try this gear set. There's so many different gear sets. So the fact that this is so customizable and opens up the door for so many different type of champion combinations, synergies. I'm pretty sure we still haven't figured out so many teams for this clan boss here based on the unlimited and ever expanding champion pool we are going to get. Now on top of that, we are going to get a new form of clan boss, which is going to be the Hydra. Who knows when that's going to come out, but it is going to come out. When it does, I do expect that to maybe not take over the crown of being the king of all content in this game, simply because I'm not sure if they're going to make it accessible to players who are just starting off the game. Whereas the Demon Lord, easy difficulty, you can just go right in as soon as you install the game, assuming you've completed the tutorial. But this is why I think this Demon Lord here, despite how ugly he is, has remained so popular for such a long time, just because of all of the different options we have. So look at the damage really quick. We're at 15 million damage, closing in on 16 million damage, and we're on turn 7 here. Like I said, we're using no attack down, no defense up, no shields. We just have continuous heal. We're pretty much waiting for ourselves to get one shot here, getting in as much damage as possible. I've made a team like this before. Like I said, it was a ton of fun. I figured why not redo it for such a cool topic like this. And are you guys surprised at all? When I first introduced this idea to you guys, were you expecting it to be clan boss? I think quite a few people do understand it is going to be clan boss, and there really isn't a close contender because of how many players this does reach out to. I think it's one of the few pieces of content where every single player across early game, mid game, late game, and end game all have something in common, where they have pretty much free reign to do whatever they want for this boss. Of course, there is a restriction of hitting the top chest. It does feel bad if you can't do it. However, if your key is failing, with the new system in place, you can just exit out of the game. You won't lose the key at all, and you can keep testing for free all of these different type of options here. Now, in case you're interested on why I picked this certain team here, Ninja, pretty straightforward. He ramps up his damage rather quickly, giving him something like Relentless Gear, which is what he has. Refresh Gear, the fact that his A3 decreases the cooldown on top of itself, offers a ton of damage overall. Battle, Crit Aura lets me build damage on all the champions a lot easier, getting them crit capped. Krila doing a ton of damage. I think she's one of the hardest hitting damage dealers as far as ally attack goes. I have her in decent damage gear, not full damage gear. I probably could have changed that around. Battle here is going to be taking the stun as intended here. The 4 surrounding champions who are going to do the most damage on their A1. Battle is not going to do the most damage, as you can kind of see from the numbers coming out from these different champions. And one awesome thing to watch that we just saw Ninja do, he just got like 3 turns in a row, reducing the cooldown of that A2 ability, pumping out incredible damage here. And look at our total damage right now. We are already at the 2 key threshold without an attack down, without defense up. Yes, like I said before, the damage is insane on all of these champions, but let's go ahead and look at the breakdown. 16 million damage from Ninja, 6 million from Krila. Like I said, Krila is the highest damage dealing champion, even with pretty mediocre gear that I have on her compared to Lanicus. We have 4 million damage from Blanicus, 5 million from the second Lanicus, 4.5 from Battle, being the only source of poison here, increasing Ninja's damage. We did have attack up most of the time on these champions, despite some chains of extra turns going on here. So this was a lot of fun to build. I think I built this team in 15 minutes. Like I said before, there is a massive silver investment when you're doing this. Gem investment, of course, it could be 150, 300, 450, 600, and then 750 gems if you have to reset all of the masteries. So this isn't as ideal to do over and over again, but it is still fun nonetheless. Now, in case you're curious about the type of gear that I use in these champions, once this advanced quest tag goes away, let's go to it. First champion, Battle, nothing crazy, 47,000, 261 speed, 83 crit, 234 crit damage, 243 accuracy here. Moving on to Ninja, we didn't really care about defense on him, but Ninja here, Relentless Gear, 35,000 health, 4.7 attack, 218 speed, 87 crit rate, 231 crit damage, 273 accuracy. Once again, the fact that he's in Relentless Gear makes this impressive, but if I wanted to build this guy pure damage, these stats could be way higher, potentially pushing it to the limit. I would have to test that, but that just goes to show you, you have to continually test things. Krayla, incredibly fast, 286 speed, 100 crit rate, 150 crit damage, also in Relentless Gear, 3.7 thousand attack. Of course, if her crit damage was higher, she could do much more damage, but she was still the highest damage dealer of all 3 ally attack champions I did use here today, and she does outcompete champions like Farrakhan the Fat despite his debuffs, as well as Longbeard and any other ally attack in the game, simply because she hits so damn hard. Moving on to Lanika's stats, 51,000, 3.8 thousand attack, 231 speed, 82 crit rate, 231 crit damage there. Don't need accuracy on her, both of these are in reflex gear. Second one, 47,000, 4,300 attack, 248 speed, 79 crit, 235 crit damage, and that's all that matters for there. So now the question goes to you guys, were you expecting Clan Boss to be the most interesting and most consistently hyped and talked about part of this game, people showing the most interest in it by far than any other aspect of this game because of how customizable it is? What do you think of this team that I just showed you? If you do have the resources, I recommend trying it because it's so much fun to try. But were you expecting this? Were you not expecting it? What other areas of the game were you expecting to be the most popular based on public interest and community interest in these matters? Alright guys, that's going to conclude my video today. Let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my next upload, and I'll see you all in the next video.